introducing our next speaker, I have only one question for the audience, and that is, how much do you love bacon? God fucking damn it, I love bacon. They should rename it meat candy. So, why do I bring up bacon? Because our next speaker, Dr. Briana Pobiner, she's coming from the, I'm going to get this wrong, the Human Origins Program at the National Museum for Natural History at the Smithsonian Institution. Did I get it right? Yes! Oh god, yeah, okay. She is a paleoanthropologist. Yes? Okay. All these long words for scientists. And all you guys need to know is she studies what early humans ate, specifically when we switched from a vegetarian diet to eating meat. And what that means for me is I'm hoping this talk is about bacon. If there were a god, I would hope that it's a smoked pork product. Anyway, without further ado, I want to bring up Dr. Briana Pobiner, who has a thirst for bacony science. Please put your hands together.
Okay. Woo! So, thanks everybody. They put this bacony science thing in here, but went off again. I'll yell real loud.
Check.
All right, let's hope it stays that way. So, it just so happens that I really freaking love bacon. So, but it is a coincidence because I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna hope that this keeps going. The earlier speakers inspired me to say a couple of things. The first is that this happened in the middle of winter. I don't know where I fall in like the data collection. Probably on a federal holiday, so you might want to think about that. Because you need days off of work. The second thing is that I'm on Facebook. And one of the first groups I joined on Facebook was when I was your age, Pluto was a planet. So, which is awesome. And then, as soon as Chris Mooney establishes a deadly ninja science communicators group, I can only hope I can join. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, he's gonna judge my PowerPoint. He'll tell me all the things wrong with it at the end of it. So, but when so I feel like I'm in a 12-step meeting. My name's Briana. I'm a scientist. So now you all know a scientist. None of those other three people. All right, so what I'm going to talk about is meat and the fact that it made us human. And I apologize to vegetarians in the audience. I have a lot of good friends that are vegetarians. I don't happen to be one, but you guys are awesome people. And so it led to railroads, robots, and the Renaissance. So what does that mean? So thinking about our changes in diet, how they led to changes in technology, how they led to creativity, and how they led to a lot of other things that make us uniquely human. So what makes humans unique? I bet every single person would give me a different answer if I asked you about that. Some of the things that make us unique, we have these really big brains. We have pretty advanced technology. This is compared to all other animals. Thumbs, somebody said yes. We have opposable thumbs. Actually, other primates have that, but we have really manipulative hands. We have a large population size. That's kind of hard to miss, where we've done an awesome job at colonizing this planet. We have cultural and social complexity, and I'm going to argue that a lot of these things stem from the fact that we eat meat, and how do we get there? So this is your family tree. No matter who you are, this is kind of an early human family tree. And we happen to be on the top. We're the only, of all these extinct species of humans, we're the only ones still around. And we've done, as I said, a fantastic job of colonizing the planet. So the interesting thing to know here is that there was a split about 2.5 million years ago. You got the old group on the bottom right. You got the group on the left, the Australopithecus group. Then you got the Homo group. Yes, that's us. So we are Homo sapiens. That is our genus and species name. Everybody here. So about 2.5 million years ago, there was this big split in our family tree. So the group on the left, the Homo group, started to do a couple interesting things. Our brains got bigger, we incorporated meat into our diet, and we started on the road to technology. The group off on the right, thank God, yeah, because where would we be without this PowerPoint? The group on the right, they sort of went down another route. Instead of technology and eating meat and bigger brains and all that stuff, they grew really big teeth to eat basically like vegetable products, so plants and things like that. So I'm just going to say they're all extinct. Note that. So technology started out really basic. So you take a rock, you break it with another rock, you get a third rock with a sharp edge. That's the beginning of technology. People are still doing this today. This initial technology lasted for 1 million years, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the reason that this technology started was to eat meat. So it was really the driving force was that there are a lot of animals around. We were at this point probably about 3.5, 4 feet tall, all of our ancestors, and we use this technology to be able to butcher animals, and there's good evidence for that. We find fossil animal bones with butchery marks alongside these early stone tools, with these marks that can only have been made by stone tools. And so this, so this was the beginning of meat eating and dietary change, really driving technological innovation. So what else happened? So once you start eating meat, you come into competition with big, scary carnivores. They can eat you. They can. So you're prey, your competition. So once this happened, we had to start getting better communication skills, more social organization. We had to be able to plan. So there's an idea out there that when we first started eating meat, we weren't actually hunting it down. We don't have any evidence for hunting technology for a long time after this. We may have been scavenging meat from carnivores. So you have to figure out where the carnivores are hanging out, what they're eating, and what's left over. So this led to some things that put us on the path to where we are today. So the top left of this slide is a chimpanzee brain, bottom left is modern human brain. So we have really big brains. Primates in general do, but we're kind of off the charts. And so our brain size is about 2% of our body, and it takes about 20% of our energy. So in fact, 25% of the calories you eat, no matter what kind of calories they are, go to fuel your brain. It's this really energetically expensive organ. It also, like everything else in evolution, things comes with costs and benefits. So there's some good benefits to having a big brain. So we have a lot of sophisticated communication, a lot of social aspects. There are some downsides. I believe in 6 weeks I'm going to start feeling a downside. Giving birth to a big brain baby, it's supposed to hurt. There's other downsides. So again, there are costs and benefits to everything. So, but there must have been some serious selective pressure for us to be able to evolve this big brain. So how did it happen? What the heck does that have to do with meat? There's a hypothesis out there called the expensive tissue hypothesis. So if this organ that costs so much energy to grow was able to get bigger, how'd that happen? Well, the other organ or organ system in our bodies that was really energetically expensive, our digestive system. So there's one idea that the way that our brains could get bigger was that our digestive system got smaller. Well, how'd that happen? It was right around the same time that we started eating meat that our guts shrank. You can see that in body structure. And meat is a really good source of calories, a really good source of protein, a really good source of fat. So if you have this kind of high energy packet of food that's able to fuel your brain, your digestive system can change. Your brain can get bigger, your gut can get smaller. Whether that still happens today is a question with, the crazy things we eat. So another interesting thing happened right around the same time, but it was about 2.5 million years ago. I forgot to mention that we started making stone tools. We started incorporating meat into our diet. So It was just after this time that early humans left Africa and started to migrate to other parts of the world. So this is a theoretical map of the range of one of our ancestor species, Homo erectus, about 1 million years ago. Carnivores in general have much bigger home ranges than herbivores. So it was probably an expansion of home range once we started eating meat. It was following animals around. There wasn't a sign that said, you're leaving Africa, going to the Middle East now you're going to Europe. No, it was just following these animals around, probably in the course of hunting. So, and another interesting thing is that once we started to eat meat, make stone tools, do all this other stuff, we start to see these archaeological sites where we have obvious evidence of transport. People were bringing animals to one place. People were making stone tools and bringing them to that place. People were probably delaying eating. I mean, if you look at other primates, other animals, they eat, they forage, they eat whenever they can. But we started to do something really weird. We delayed eating in order to eat with a social group. So what's that about? Something else that makes us unique. And this you can't see really well, but it is an image of early humans sitting around a fire. So the next big technological innovation in our evolutionary history was cooking. About 800,000 years ago, there's good evidence of cooking meat and cooking plants. This led to a lot of things. You can eat a heck of a lot more food. You can eat food that would be poisonous. You can eat food that you can make food taste a lot better. You can break down food more efficiently so that you can get more nutrients out of it. This also, having control of fire lets us live in colder places. So we were able to colonize, our ancestors could colonize parts of Europe and other places that were awfully chilly at that point. It lets us have a way of warding off predators like carnivores at night. So again, we're rising through the ecological dominance hierarchy, becoming more and more dominant. Meat eating also led to a lot more technological innovation. These are different kinds of tools used for different things. We have some barbed bone harpoon points for fishing. We have tools made for very specific things. And again, I think it was meat eating, it was eating animals that drove a lot of this technological innovation. Think about all the gadgets you have in your kitchen. So my husband is a serious kitchen gadget guy. He was in charge of that part of our wedding registry. We have like the lemon zester and the other zester for different kinds of spices. I mean, how specific can you get? We started to get spears 300,000 years ago, hunting large animals. We started to get fishing tools 90,000 years ago. Bows and arrows 40,000 years ago. All of these things that were driven by these changes in diet. This is a little bit more of a leap, but I think this is an interesting idea. One of the things that happens when you start to be able to provision other members of your social group with food is that you have more leisure time. So we can have the people who go out and hunt, we can have the people who hang around at home and do a variety of different things. So that gives us leisure time to be creative and invent things. So about 300,000 years ago, our ancestors started playing around with color. So there's red ochre, there's black manganese. People started thinking about group identity. There are these crayons from thousands of years ago